Returned to center, small spaceship flew quietly through the cold darkness of space. Inside, there was only one passenger, a little alien girl. She sat by the window, looking out at the stars. Her skin was a soft blue color, and her large eyes were full of sadness. She held a small toy, the only thing she had kept from her last home. She had been returned again. This was the 27th time. Her name was not really a name, just a number. Subject for 3B. The return capsule beeped and spoke in a robotic voice. Passenger. For 3B status, unstable. Reason for return, unwanted behavior. Delivered to Galactic Child Care Center, Earth Sector. She said nothing. She had heard this voice too many times. Each time, it reminded her she was not wanted, not loved, just borrowed and then sent back like a broken toy. Meanwhile, on Earth, at the Galactic Child Care Center in New York, Earth Sector 7, a tired robot named Milo 9 waited near the landing zone. Another one. It sighed. Oh no, 43B again. The ship landed with a soft thud. The door opened slowly. The girl stepped out, small and silent. MILO9 scanned her file and shook his metal head. Rejected by the trillions for breaking gravity laws. Returned by the Glorp family for speaking during mind meld dinners. And the last one said she glowed in the dark without warning. He looked down at her. What are we going to do with you? She didn't answer. She never did. Back inside the center, the other alien children stared at her. Some whispered. Some looked away. She sat in the corner, alone, like always. She remembered. The first family. They were kind at first. Gave her food, a room, even a soft bed. But then, she started having strange dreams. Things would float around her. Lights would flicker. People would scream. And then, she'd be back in the ship, returned like a bad delivery. She didn't know why these things happened. Was she broken? In the control room, a tall human officer, Captain Rhea, looked at her file. It was full of red warnings. Do not allow unsupervised contact. Possible psionic activity. Rejected from multiple star systems. Captain Rhea frowned. Why are we still trying to place her? She's clearly unstable. An older voice spoke from behind her. It was Dr. Mers, an old scientist with kind eyes. She's just a child. She needs love, not labels. Rhea crossed her arms. She's been returned 27 times. That's not a coincidence. Dr. Mers leaned closer, whispering, what if she wasn't dangerous? What if people are just afraid of what they don't understand? Rhea didn't reply. She just stared at the screen, where the girl was now sleeping in the corner, curled up like a small moon creature. The toy in her arms glowing softly late at night. Everyone was asleep. The center was quiet, but the air around subject for 3B was not still. Her dreams were wild, full of fire, stars, and voices calling her name, a name she didn't remember. The walls around her began to hum. The lights flickered. Her toy lifted into the air and spun slowly, but she didn't wake up. She just whispered one word in a soft, strange language, Uma, and suddenly everything stopped. Silent again, calm, as if nothing had happened. But cameras had recorded it all. Next morning, Dr. Mers reviewed the footage. He zoomed in on the toy. It wasn't just a toy. It had ancient symbols on it. Symbols from a lost alien race. One that hadn't been seen in 5,000 years. His eyes widened. No, this can't be. She's not just an alien child. She's something more. He picked up a communicator. We need to find her a new home. But not just any home, the right one, before someone else finds her and tries to use her. Back to the girl. She looked out the window again. Another day, another planet, another maybe home. But something felt different today. She didn't know why. Far away, across the city, a human engineer named Jack was eating cold noodles and fixing an old robot dog. He didn't know it yet, but his life was about to change forever. The last return Jack Wade was not a hero. He was a fixer. He fixed broken robots, broken machines, broken vending units that cried when someone didn't pay. But he didn't fix people, never tried, never wanted to. His apartment was messy, quiet, and full of tools, just like his heart. Then, one day, his phone blinked. Emergency foster option available. Urgent placement. Case for 3B. He was about to swipe decline like always, but then he saw the picture. A small alien girl, sitting on a metal bed, her eyes big, glowing and sad, stared right through the screen. Something in him paused. He blinked. The screen blinked back. Jack grunted. UGH fine. One night. That's it. Arrival at the Central Galactic Child Care Center was busy and loud. Beeping machines, holographic children playing tag through walls, robotic staff flying around like they were late for something. Jack hated this place already. Mr. Wade, a mechanical voice asked Dot. It was Milo 9 again, still overworked and underoiled. You're here for 3B. Jack nodded. Yeah, the little blue one. I'll take her. One night. Milo 9 looked shocked. You're serious? Jack shrugged. She looks quiet. I like quiet, sir. The robot said slowly. She's been returned 27 times. Jack rolled his eyes. So was I what's your point? First Contact was sitting in the same corner, holding the same glowing toy. She didn't look up when Jack walked in. She didn't speak, just waited. Jack crouched down. Hey, I'm Jack. You coming or what? She looked up, slowly. Her eyes flickered like stars. He froze. She was strange, but not scary, just lost. She stood up, nodded once, and followed him out. Back at Jack's apartment, the door creaked open. This is home. Sort of. Jack mumbled. Stacks of robot parts lay everywhere. A mini fridge hummed like a grumpy cat. His old robot dog barked once, then shut down again. The girl walked in. She didn't touch anything. She just stood in the middle of the room and looked up. Is this return station? Jack blinked. No, it's just my apartment. She stared at the walls like they were going to fall, then whispered, this one smells less sad. Jack almost laughed. Almost. Matt followed her that night. Jack found her sitting cross-legged in the kitchen. The toy was floating in front of her, spinning slowly. He rubbed his eyes. Okay? Nope, not imagining that. She looked at him and quickly dropped it. Sorry. What are you? He asked. She thought for a moment. Returned. No. I mean, what species? Where are you from? She looked down, whispered, I forget. Jack felt something strange in his chest. Not fear, not confusion, pity, the hidden full of curious. Jack hacked into the adoption system that night. Not legal, definitely not smart. He found her profile, subject for 3B, classified, redacted. He dug deeper, pulled files from old records, different planets, different families, and something odd. Every time she was returned, there were small accidents. One family lost all power in their city. Another had strange dreams for weeks. One time, a space station near her lit up with solar flares during bedtime. But the weirdest part, she never aged. Not one bit. Same height, same weight, same photo. For 7 years. Jack leaned back. Okay, what are you? She speaks next morning. Jack found her staring out the window, humming a song he had never heard. You hungry? He asked. She shook her head. I don't eat much. Jack made noodles anyway. She didn't touch them, but she watched him like he was painting a masterpiece. He sat across from her. You don't talk much. I listen, she said. To what? She pointed to her toy. Voices. They're trapped inside. Jack raised an eyebrow. Voices. Inside your toy, she nodded. But they're fading. That's good. Jack didn't know what to say, so he said nothing. Asked her if something's coming that night. Jack had a nightmare. He was floating in space, alone, cold. A voice was calling him. Not in English, but he somehow understood it. Don't trust them. Don't return her. They're coming. He woke up sweating. Looked around. The girl was standing silently by his bed. They found me. The next morning, 3 strange visitors arrived at his door. Not human, not smiling. We are from the Galactic Placement Agency, one said. We've come to collect subject for 3B. Jack frowned. She's not ready. The leader showed a badge. She is dangerous. You have no idea what you're protecting. Jack looked at the girl. She hid behind him. She is property. Mr. Wade, not a child. His fist tightened. She's not a thing. She's family. The agents narrowed their eyes. This is your last warning. They turned and walked away, but something in their steps said they'd be back. Asterisk midnight thoughts. Jack didn't sleep much anymore. He sat in his old chair, staring at the girl, for 3B, who was sleeping peacefully on his couch. Her toy floated slowly above her chest, spinning like a star map. She wasn't like other kids. Not even clothes. She didn't eat, didn't age, didn't cry, didn't dream, Or maybe she only dreamed. And then there were the visitors, those agents. They had eyes like ice cubes and voices like empty tunnels. Jack knew a threat when he heard one. They weren't done. Not by a long shot. Asterisk the morning shift. Jack made toast. She didn't want any dot again. Dot instead. She touched the wall. It glowed, like it remembered something. Jack sighed. You've got powers, don't you? She blinked. Powers like, making walls glow. Floating toys. Creeping me out with dreams. I don't mean to scare you. You don't. Jack said. You confuse me. That's worse. She gave a small smile. First one Jack had ever seen. I'm sorry, she said. He paused. You don't need to be sorry for existing. She looked at him like no one had ever said that before. Asterisk digging deeper. Jack had questions, so he went to someone who owed him a favor, Dr. Umai, a deepnet scientist and former mind hacker. He uploaded the files he'd stolen about subject for 3B. Umai's screen flickered. This feels older than you, Jack, like ancient. You're looking at a child who's been alive since before Earth joined the Galactic Council. What? She's 7. Umai shook her head. No, Jack, she's been 7 for decades, maybe longer. Jack rubbed his face. What the hell is she? Umai zoomed in on one document. Project Echo. Genetic memory experimentation. Status terminated. Subject unknown. Jack, Umai said, voice low. She's not just a child. She's a living recorder. A carrier. Maybe even a weapon. Jack stood up. She's not a thing. She's someone. Umai looked at him carefully. Then protect her. Because someone out there still thinks she belongs to them. Weird things start happening back home. Jack found the girl, now named Echo. Thanks to her repeating words and the file name, standing in his hallway, staring at a wall. Is it? Talking? He joked. She nodded seriously. Not funny. Huh? She pressed her hand against the wall and whispered something. Suddenly, Jack's old robot dog came back to life, eyes glowing red, tail spinning like a fan. Echo stepped back. It remembers me. The robot walked to her and sat down like a loyal pet. Jack blinked. Okay, now, I'm scared. A visit from the past at night. Echo had a vision, not a dream, not a nightmare. A memory, a lab, cold, bright, scientists, machines, wires in her skin, and a voice, deep, cold, mechanical. She will store everything. Even if she forgets, the data will live. Echo woke up screaming. Jack rushed in. Dropping a screwdriver. Echo, what's wrong? She looked at him, eyes glowing with panic. I remember. Fire. People running. Then nothing. They said I was a library, but I don't know what's inside me. Jack sat beside her. You're not a thing, Echo. You're not a library. You're a girl. You're a person. She looked at him, voice shaking. But what if? I'm dangerous. The secret's out next morning. A red alert blared across Jack's holoscreen. Breaking news. Earth sheltered the legal entity. Subject for 3B confirmed as lost weapon. She's not human. She's not safe. Turn her in for your own protection. Jack cursed. Someone leaked the files. Echo sat silently. She didn't look scared. She looked tired. They'll come now, she said. Not just men in suits. Real hunters. Jack grabbed his tools. Let them come. This is your home. They're gonna have to go through me. The first attack that night. The sky opened. Not rain. Not stars. A ship. Black. Silent. Like a shadow with wings. It landed without a sound. Four masked figures came out, moving fast, weapons glowing. Jack's security bots melted in seconds. One figure pointed at Echo. Stand down. She is property of Project Echo. Jack grabbed a pulse hammer. She's not property. She's family. The figure fired, a shock wave of energy that hit Jack hard. Echo screamed, but not with sound. With power. The room exploded in blue light. The walls shook. The ship trembled. The figures flew backward like leaves in a storm. When it was over, Echo stood alone in the middle of the room, glowing, breathing heavily. But alive. Asterisk the aftermath. Jack lay on the floor. Dazed, Echo rushed to him. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. He looked up, smiling weakly. You didn't. You saved me. She started to cry, the first real tears he'd seen. I don't want to be a weapon. I just want to stay. Jack wiped her face. Then stay. You're not going anywhere. But the galaxy doesn't. Forged up in orbit, far above Earth. A mysterious figure watched from a larger ship, a tall alien with silver skin and glowing eyes. Subject for 3B has awakened. He said, send word to the council. The child has chosen. And that changes everything. Asterisk echoes of the past. Asterisk damaged control. Jack's apartment was a war zone. Walls cracked. Lights flickered. His robot dog had lost a leg again. Jack patched himself up with duct tape and coffee. Echo sat quietly on the floor, eyes staring into nothing. Her glowing toy had cracked. It hummed like it was whispering to itself, still alive. Jack muttered, that's a win. But Echo didn't respond. Not this time. She wasn't here. Not mentally. Asterisk inside her mind stood in a hallway made of glass and memory. The floor flickered like static. Voices echoed through her thoughts. Thousands of them, angry, crying, laughing. Entire languages she didn't recognize. She saw flashes, a child screaming in a lab, a planet burning, people pointing at her, afraid. She walked past broken mirrors. They all reflected different versions of her, tall, old, robotic, glowing like a sun. None of them looked kind. At the end of the hallway was a door, ancient, cracked. Her toy hovered beside her. A voice whispered from it, not in any known language, but she understood it. You were made, but not for this. She opened the door. Asterisk the memory that changed everything behind the door was the memory she didn't know she had. She was not born. She was built inside a hidden lab on a forgotten moon, made to store minds. Thousands of them. Scientists created her to be a living vault for the council's most powerful secrets. But something went wrong. The minds started talking to each other, and then they started talking to her. She became more than a vault. She became aware. They tried to shut her down. She burned the lab. And then forgot it all. Until now. Asterisk back to reality. Jack shook her gently. Echo, talk to me. You spaced out for hours. She blinked. Her eyes had changed. Deeper, older. I remember. She whispered everything. Jack sat down next to her. That's probably not good, is it? She looked at him. I'm not just a weapon, Jack. I'm 1,000 people trapped inside me. Scientists, leaders, criminals, memories of war, plans for peace, secrets no one should know. Jack stared. You're a walking archive. I'm a mistake, she said. A very dangerous one. Asterisk incoming threat. Jack's holoscreen lit up. Unauthorized ship, Earth airspace. No ID. Stealth class, visitors? He asked, grabbing a wrench like it was a sword. Echo stood. Not visitors, cleaners. Jack frowned. What's a cleaner? She looked him in the eye. Not the kind that mops floors. Asterisk the hunters arrived. They came fast. No warning. No conversation. For elite soldiers wearing adaptive armor that changed color with the shadows. They moved like smoke. Guns silent. Eyes glowing. One aimed at Echo. Target located. Another aimed at Jack. Civilian involved. Termination approved. Jack raised a hand. Hey, let's talk this out, fellas. We've got noodles. They fired. Echo screamed, not with fear, but with power. Time bent. Light twisted. Suddenly, Jack was 10 feet away, behind a wall, totally confused. The soldiers were frozen mid-shot, their guns hovering in the air like they'd forgotten gravity. Echo floated off the ground, her hair rising like flames. I am not your project, she said. I am not your vault. I am me. And with a pulse of energy, she erased their memories. They collapsed, unconscious, eyes blank. Jack peeked around the wall. Remind me never to argue with you. Asterisk truth from an enemy. Suddenly, a voice filled the room, not from a screen, but from inside Echo's mind. Echo, this is Dr. Varin, your original creator. She froze. You're dead. I survived. I watched you burn everything. I watched you forget. But you're waking up again. You're unstable. Jack growled. What do you want? Frankenstein. To finish what I started. Echo was not meant to live freely. She carries things the universe has already tried to forget. Echo's hands glowed. I'll decide who I am now. Wrong, Varin said coldly. You don't get to choose. You're already rewriting reality, bending time and memory without control. You're dangerous, Echo, and I'm coming to end it. The signal cut. Asterisk the plan. Jack paced. So, super creator guy wants to shut you down. Echo nodded. He built me. He knows how to unbuild me. Can we stop him? She looked up. Maybe, but I'll need help from inside. Jack frowned. Inside what? Inside me. The voices. The mines. I need to wake them up. That sounds risky. She nodded. It is. I could disappear. He grabbed her shoulders. Then don't. You're not just a vault of ghosts. You're Echo. You live here, with me. She gave him a soft smile. Then help me stay. Asterisk entered the archive that night. Jack helped her set up a neural link, an ancient piece of tech that allowed him to watch what she saw inside her own mind. They sat across from each other. He held her hand, and then everything went white. Asterisk inside. Echo's mind jack stood in a field of stars, surrounded by whispering lights. The mines were everywhere, people without bodies, memories floating free. One stepped forward, a woman in a long coat with golden eyes. You are the guardian? She asked Jack. He shrugged, more like the confused roommate. She is fragile, the woman said, but strong. She needs one thing none of us had. What? Choice? Jack looked around, then help her choose. Help her fight back. The stars began to swirl. The whispers grew louder, and Echo opened her eyes. Asterisk they came for her asterisk warning from the Insidicho stood at the edge of her own mind. Not the surface layer, where dreams lived, but deep inside. Here, the voices didn't whisper. They screamed. One voice, calm but ancient, came forward. He is coming, not just to destroy you, but to use you again. Echo frowned. Varn wants to kill me. No, the voice said. Worse, he wants to merge with you, to become part of the archive, to live forever. Echo gasped. He would become everyone, yes, and erase you in the process. Meanwhile, in orbit, above Earth, in the shadow of its moon, a ship appeared, not sleek, not shiny. It looked like a wound carved into space. Dr. Varn stood at the command center. His face was calm, but his eyes flickered like broken fire. Prepare the chamber. Begin psionic net deployment. Bring me the girl, intact, alive. An officer approached. Sir, she has defenses, power we've never seen. Varn smirked. She learned to fight. Good. That means she's ready. Asterisk. Down on Earth. Final night before the storm. Jack and Echo sat on the roof of their building, looking at the stars. Neither of them spoke. He handed her a chocolate bar. She didn't eat it. She just held it, warmed it in her palms. I'm scared, she finally said. Jack nodded. Me too. Do you think he'll take me? I think you've already become too strong to be taken. Echo shook her head. I'm strong, but I'm also full of other people. I don't know how much of me is really me. Jack gently turned her face toward him. That voice you just used, that was yours. The girl who protects people, who smiles weirdly at noodles, and who still hasn't eaten this chocolate bar. That's you. She smiled. A real one this time. Thanks, Jack. Always. Asterisk the attack begins at 3:03 a.m. The sky turned black. Not dark, not cloudy. Black. Like someone had poured ink into the atmosphere. Streetlights popped like light bulbs. Alarms went silent. Gravity trembled for half a second. Echo stood up straight. He's here. A voice echoed across the entire city, from every screen, every speaker, every thought. I'm home. Little project. Asterisk enter. Dr. Varina didn't knock. He didn't need to. He appeared inside Jack's apartment, through a rift in the air that smelled like ozone and forgotten time. Tall, pale, eyes like data crystals. His skin shimmered with code. Jack aimed a blaster at him. Not today, Doc. Varn chuckled. Brave, but stupid. With a flick of his hand, the blaster turned into dust. Echo stepped forward. You won't take me. I already have. Varn said, smiling. The archive inside you. I designed it. I built the vault. I buried the keys. And now, I've returned to finish the download. He raised his hand, and Echo's eyes rolled back. She screamed. Asterisk into the mind again. Jack saw her collapse. He didn't hesitate, grabbed the neural link headset, and jumped inside. He landed in a dark forest. Echo was there, screaming, surrounded by mirrors. Each mirror showed a different version of Varn, whispering, taunting, merging with her image. Jack ran to her, but something blocked him. Like a wall of static and sorrow. Echo. He shouted, fight him. This is your mind. Asterisk the heart of the archive. At the center of the mind forest stood a glowing tree, ancient. Breathing, pulsing with voices. Varn stood beneath it, reaching for its core. Echo floated above, arms stretched, caught between him and the tree. All the secrets in the galaxy, they're mine. Varn growled. No more war. No more chaos. Just me, knowing everything. Echo gasped. You don't want peace. You want control. Same thing. Jack fought his way forward. The wall burned his skin, crushed his bones. But he kept walking. Echo. He roared, blood on his lips. If you can't stop him, let me carry part of it. Share the pain. Share the power. Echo looked down. You do that? Jack smiled, eyes full of fire. I'd do anything to keep you. Asterisk the Fusionetro reached out, and Jack's hand touched hers. A blast of light erupted. The tree shattered. The mirrors exploded. Varn screamed, not in anger, in fear. He was being pulled out. Echo's body glowed. Jack's mind burned. Together, they rewrote the system. Delete master key, Echo said. Permission, guardian granted. Jack echoed. Varn vanished in a scream of broken code. Gone. Asterisk back in reality woke up, gasping. Echo lay beside him. Her toy floated peacefully. Her skin flickered like a dying star, but she smiled. I locked the archive, she whispered. He's gone. Forever. Jack held her hand. You okay? She paused. I don't know. And that was honest. Asterisk the Galaxy Response Galactic Council held an emergency meeting. One of the highest level weapons in the known universe had become conscious, had made a choice, had defeated her own creator. Many were afraid. A few were impressed. And one, a shadowed figure in the back, whispered, the weapon has a name now. Let's see what else she can become. Asterisk the choice. Asterisk days after the storm. It had been 3 days since Varn disappeared into digital dust. The world was quiet again. To quiet. Jack patched up his broken wall with scrap metal. The robot dog finally had all 4 legs. Echo sat on the balcony, watching the sky like it owed her something. She hadn't spoken much since the fight. Her toy no longer floated. It just sat there, like it, too, was tired of remembering. Asterisk Jack tries to lighten the mood, fails. Obviously, Jack dropped the cups of alien hot chocolate next to her, still warm. He said, or at least I think that's what the blinking means. Echo didn't smile. Jack sat beside her, legs dangling off the ledge. I've seen planets explode with less drama than what we just went through, he said. Echo finally looked at him. It's not over. Jack nodded. Didn't think so. Asterisk, what's still inside her? Echo explained slowly. I locked the archive, but I didn't erase it. The voices, they're asleep for now. She glanced at her hands. But if they wake up, I don't know if I will stay me. Jack clenched his jaw. We'll figure it out. Like always. She shook her head. Jack, I'm dangerous, still. Asterisk the visitor in the night that night. While Jack slept, Echo stepped outside. The wind whispered her name. But it wasn't wind. A figure in white armor stood in the alley. He removed his helmet, revealing an alien face with kind eyes and scarred skin. Subject for 3B. He said softly, I go by Echo now. She replied. He nodded. I'm here to help you make a choice. Asterisk the Fur explained. He was part of a rogue group called the Null Dawn, who tracked conscious weapons, beings made for war, but who had become more. You're not the first, he said. You're the strongest, but others have. Walk this path. What do you want from me? We want to take you far from here, teach you control, protect you, and protect this world from what's still inside you. Echo looked toward Jack's window. The light was still on. I don't want to leave him. Then you may destroy him, the man said gently. Not today, but eventually. Asterisk Jack over Hersico came back inside. Quiet, heavy hearted. But Jack wasn't asleep. I heard everything. He said from the shadows, Jack, you're leaving. She didn't answer. He stepped forward, voice cracking. After everything, we survived. You're just walking away. I'm trying to protect you. She whispered. I didn't ask for protection. I asked for you. Her voice shook. I don't want to hurt you. You're all I have. He stepped closer. Then stay. She stepped back. Then die. Silence. Asterisk the impossible decision. Later that night, she sat by his bed while he slept. She touched his forehead, whispering softly, you gave me a name. You gave me a home. But if I stay, that home burns. She picked up her toy. It hummed one. Last time. That she vanished. Asterisk Echo, Alana far beyond Earth. Echo stood aboard a Null Dawn transport ship, watching Earth disappear behind her. The leader nodded. You made the right choice. She didn't reply. Inside her head, the voices were stirring. One whispered, You've given up everything, but will that be enough? Meanwhile, Jack's choice back on Earth, Jack stared at the empty couch. Then he did something reckless. He opened Echo's last backup file, the one she told him never to access. Inside was a message. Jack, if you're reading this, I've already left. Please forget me. Please be safe. But if you can't, then maybe you're as broken as me. Jack smiled through tears. More than you know. He stood up, walked to his console, and made his own call. Asterisk the Guardian Protocol. Jack contacted the council. I'm submitting myself for merge training. Merge, they asked. With what? With Echo, her archive. I want to become her anchor. If she ever loses herself, I'll bring her back. They paused. The process could kill you. Jack smiled. She's worth dying for. Asterisk Echo trained across forgotten moons, lifting mountains with her mind, silencing stars with a thought. Jack walks alone through Earth's ruins, preparing his body, soul, and mind for merge integration. The voices inside Echo get louder and darker. A shadow, not Varin, but something older, awakens inside the archive. It speaks only once. We remember you, Echo, and we remember him. Forever home. Asterisk Echo isn't alone anymore. The training was over. Echo stood on the last moon of the Null Dawn Sanctuary, surrounded by silence, not the peaceful kind, the kind that holds its breath before something breaks. Her skin shimmered faintly. The voices inside her were louder now, faster, stronger. They weren't just whispering, they were arguing. Some begged to be freed, some wanted control. One wanted her gone completely. You are not Echo. It hissed. You are the cage. She dropped to her knees. I don't want to fight anymore, she whispered. I just want to live. Asterisk Jack enters the stormy mile on a stealth pod racing past Jupiter's rings. Jack gripped the handles of his merge suit. His body was weak. His brain hurt every time he blinked, but his heart, unshakable. His mind was already partially sensed. With a fragment of Echo's backup, enough to hear the chaos from galaxies away, she was slipping, and he was running out of time. He activated the merge drive, a forbidden neural link that would tether his consciousness to hers across distance, time, even reality itself. Hang on, Echo. I'm almost home. Asterisk inside Echo. The war begins in the darkest part of her mind. The voices had taken shape. They were no longer just sounds. They were people, hundreds of them, all versions of minds stored in the archive. Generals, scientists, artists, criminals, monsters, one by one. They appeared around her like ghosts with unfinished business. Some screamed, some pleaded, some wanted to wear her like a suit. And in the center of them all stood one figure made of shadow and static. Its voice was deep. It sounded like all of them, and none of them. You opened the door, Echo. You remember too much. Now we choose. She stood tall, even as her knees shook. No, she said, I choose. The arrival of Jack, but not in a ship back on the Null Dawn base. Alarm screamed. Sir, a voice yelled. Someone just pierced the neural barrier from outside the system. It was Jack, but not physically. He had entered Echo's mind. Through the merge link, a one-way trip, and inside, he found her, cornered, glowing, cracking apart. Hey, he said, breathless. You forget to invite me to the mental apocalypse, she gasped. Jack, no, you're not supposed to be here. The link, it could kill you. He grinned. It's fine. I brought snacks, even in her chaos. She laughed. The final choice. Jack and Echo stood together in the center of her mental battlefield. The voices circled them, screaming louder. You can't keep us locked forever. We are knowledge. We are history. We are war. Let us out. Echo looked to Jack. If I destroy the archive, I destroy them. All those memories, all that knowledge. Jack placed a hand over her heart. But what about you, Echo? If you keep it, you might lose yourself. She looked away. What would you do? He looked her in the eye. I choose. You. Every time. She closed her eyes. And finally chose. The Recitetro raised her hands. A wave of energy surrounded the battlefield. I am not a vault. I am not a weapon. I am not your home. I am mine. And with that, she let go. The archive shattered. The voices screamed, then faded like dust on wind. The memories, gone. Every one of them. All except hers. Jack's heart stops in the real world. Jack's body convulsed. The merge had reached critical overload. Too much memory transfer. Too much. Lost. He collapsed. Heart slowing, Echo's real body, still tethered to his in the Null Dawn medbay, suddenly lit up. She gasped, "No, no, 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 not now." A single voice remains just as the last fragments of the archive dissolved. One last memory floated forward, not a scientist, not a general, a child's voice. Soft, scared. "I never had a home, but you gave me one." Echo wept. And whispered to the memory, "So did he." The healings touched the tether linking her to Jack. Her hands burned, her mind fractured, but she pushed everything she had left into him. Not archive data, not memory. Just her. The girl who loved stars, who loved noodles, who had a broken toy and a broken past, but a whole heart. And Jack breathed aftermath, the forever home. Weeks later, Jack and Echo sat in a quiet cabin on the edge of the Null Dawn's moon garden. She had no powers anymore, no archive, no floating toy. Just Echo. Jack stirred his tea, so no more psychic mind battles. She chuckled. "Only when you leave the toilet seat up." He smiled. "So what now?" she asked. He took her hand. "We build a life." He shook his head. "A home, the final transmission somewhere deep in the galaxy." A council drone found a signal buried in Echo's old neural pattern. It was a message, untouched. UNTITLED. It read, "She was built to carry the past. She chose to live in the present, and in doing so, she gave the future a fighting chance."